The next social media platform we're going to focus on is LinkedIn. And we're going to talk about LinkedIn as a marketing tool. Now, most people associate social media and social networking with the consumer side of the business, but it's also a tool used in business-to-business marketing. Our textbook tells us there was a study done that showed 81% of B2B marketers are on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is the largest and most successful business-to-business social networking platform in existence today. And so we're going to talk about why that is in this section of the lecture. But let's first talk about what is LinkedIn. LinkedIn facilitates interactions between business professionals. Hopefully, each of you have a personal LinkedIn page that you're using for networking. And if not, I highly recommend you start one today. But every user creates a profile, and that profile generally includes information about their education, their work experience, and their personal skills. So it really is like an online resume. And unlike Facebook, LinkedIn shares more professional information about each member versus personal information. And completing a profile shows that you're very serious and you want to use LinkedIn to connect with the right people. And it's the same theory for companies who are on LinkedIn. If you have a complete profile with information and a created page that contains all information, it shows that you're serious about marketing on that site and connecting and networking on that site, and you're going to use it to reach a very specific audience. And LinkedIn is so valuable as a networking tool because you can reach a very broad audience, yet it's very specific. And if a company has followers, then those followers are going to see the information that the company posts in their newsfeed. Just like you would have a newsfeed on Facebook, you've got a newsfeed on LinkedIn. And so if you're following a company, say Coca-Cola, then you're going to get all the information that they post. And what's great about that feature is that if your followers are sharing that information or liking that information or engaging with that information in any way, then it's also going to be seen by all of their followers. So you can continue to expand your audience on LinkedIn by connecting with individuals. Right now, there is no way to communicate directly with followers on LinkedIn. And so if, let's say, you're Coca-Cola and you have over 1 million followers, you can't reach out to those 1 million people to market to them on LinkedIn. They have to come to you and they have to look at your page. So you have to give them a reason to look at your page. And so that gets us into what types of content we should be posting on LinkedIn to draw people in to look at our page and to see our information and our messaging. And so when you're posting content on LinkedIn, it's very different than what you're going to want to post on Facebook. We talked about how on Facebook you might want to post light and funny information, while on LinkedIn it's the opposite. You want to be posting professional and very informative information. You want to write in a professional tone. You want to have professional links. You want to be the tone is very different. And so LinkedIn really lends itself better to certain types of content, giving the audience. And remember, you're reaching people who are using this site for professional reasons. And so a lot of times the best type of content for LinkedIn would fall into these categories listed here. So you might have an ebook that you've published about a specific topic or a white paper on a specific industry. Case studies are great to post on LinkedIn. People who are searching for information within the industry that you operate in are looking to read ebooks, white papers, and case studies on success stories or new innovations, and so they're going to look for that on LinkedIn. Industry and company updates also work well on LinkedIn because, again, remember, this is a professional network, and so people are interested in specific industries and companies, and so they want to know what's happening. And then finally, job opportunities. LinkedIn is the best social networking site to find talent and to post your open job positions at your company. And so those are the best types of content to use on LinkedIn. Very rarely will you see promotional posts or casual updates on LinkedIn because, again, it's not the place to do that. All right, so now that we know what to post, how often should we be posting on LinkedIn? LinkedIn ran their own study, and what they found was that um, 20 posts per month can help you reach 60% of your audience. So if you think about that Coca-Cola page we saw that had over 1 million followers, if Coca-Cola is posting about 20 posts per month, they'll reach about 60% of those people. 20 posts per month can be a difficult feat, especially for small businesses. And the reason being is that LinkedIn requires more in-depth posting and longer writing. And so even if the post on LinkedIn itself isn't very long, most of the times LinkedIn posts are going to link back to other content. So whether it's a blog or a website, again, you're posting things like ebooks and articles and case studies, and so those have to be written before they can be published on social media. And so it does take more dedicated resources than other social media platforms because you do have a lot of copywriters and content writers making sure that your content is correct and the right content for this site specifically. So 20 posts per month can be a bit daunting, but 20 posts per month is kind of the magic number here. Now, they don't all have to be case studies and white papers and ebooks. They can be company updates or job opportunities. So that helps small businesses reach that 20 number. All right, so now that we know we need to post 20 posts per month, when do we post those posts for the highest engagement? And again, I'm just going to remind you, we're talking about organic posting, so we're not into paid posting when we can choose exactly when it's seen or who it's seen by. So when to post organically on LinkedIn. Again, remember, your audience is primarily business professionals, and studies have shown that 41% of LinkedIn visits are from mobile devices. So everything must be optimized for mobile. And also, it's kind of been studied that people read LinkedIn like they read the newspaper. So what can we derive from that? This is where they want quick and easy updates on companies and information. It also helps us kind of identify what times we should be posting. So QuickSprout did a study, and a couple other companies have come to the same conclusion. The best days and times to post LinkedIn content are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 8 a.m. and 5 to 6 p.m. So are we seeing a trend here? The worst times to post are weekdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. People read LinkedIn on their mobile phone when they're commuting, and we're just going to hope that they're commuting on public transit here. But that's when they're checking their LinkedIn. That's when they're getting their company updates, their business updates, their morning information, and their evening information. So you want to make sure that you are aligning your posts to make sure that people are seeing that during their morning and afternoon commute. And then because we are targeting business professionals here, posting during the weekday is not effective, especially successful business professionals who we might want to be reading our content. They are not checking social media during the day, maybe with the exception of a lunch hour. So posting during the weekday is just going to push your post further and further down on a person's news feed and increase the possibility that they're not going to see it. Work hours have the lowest impression rates and engagement rates on the site. So as with Facebook and all other social media platforms, these are very general rules and can be a bit inconclusive depending on the company that you are. And so it's really critical to monitor your specific social platforms that you choose to operate on and your own marketing tactics to make sure that your company is reaching the audience you want at the correct times. And so these are just snippets from the analytics sites on both Facebook and LinkedIn. And you can see that it's very easy to track when people are looking at your specific posts. So if they don't fall exactly with the rules that we've talked about in class today, you can adjust and correct the timing to make sure that people are looking at your posts. That was a really quick overview of LinkedIn and why it's an effective marketing tool. You are actually going to go back into Hootsuite and watch one more video on optimizing your LinkedIn company page in SCMD 125. And it's just going to talk a little bit more about profile settings on LinkedIn and how companies utilize LinkedIn pages to communicate with customers.